Welcome back, friends. It is time for some Hollywood headlines. So Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have taken their love story, see what I did there, on the road and across the pond. And things seem to be the real deal between this couple because T Swift actually trusted the Kansas City Chiefs tight end to perform with her on stage at her Eras World Tour in London over the weekend. And surprisingly, this is actually the first time that they've ever performed together. And I don't know if it's because we see them all the time, but I can't believe this is the first actual time he's been on stage with her. So anyways, since the release of the Tortured Poets Department in April, Swift has added a new segment to her her entire show, where after, completing her song, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, she performs a silent pantomime sketch with her dancers to transition to the song, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. As you can see from the TikTok clip that I'm showing right now, Travis picks up his lady love and assists her during a quick little costume change, and Kelce has been on hand the past 2 nights in London, so Saturday and Sunday, singing, dancing along in the VIP area with other celebrities, including, but not limited to, Tom Cruise, Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, and Hugh Grant. And in a funny and unfortunate turn of events, I guess you could say, the singer also swallowed a bug midway through performing All Too Well. So let's take a look at this. Honestly, major props to Taylor for continuing the show, barely missing a beat. I don't know if you guys have ever, unfortunately, swallowed a bug. It is not pleasant, and that is like a 3-hour show she's doing, so way to be, Taylor. Okay, my next story is some movie news. Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan have officially begun production on Freaky Friday 2. And in the event you don't know the plot line of the movie, a mother and daughter who are at odds with one another switch lives to see what the other is going through. So Disney Studios, their official Instagram page shared a photo of Jamie Lee and Lindsay outside of their trailers with Jamie throwing up a rock and roll sign, and the caption read, quote, "The Colemans are back and coming to theaters in 2025. The sequel to Freaky Friday is now in production." The original Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan came out in 2003, and Jamie Lee actually gave millennials the heart attack we never knew we needed a little over a year ago, and she teased the possibility of a sequel. So let's take a quick look.
When do you start this Freaky Friday movie? When do you begin?
There is no scheduled date, but we're talking. People are talking. The right people are talking.
Is it wild? Did you ever think that would happen?
Sure.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because I'm 64 years old in a week and Lindsay's 36. That's why. It lends itself so beautifully.
So this was a little over a year ago, and not only are Curtis and Lohan slated to reprise their roles as Tess and Anna Coleman, but a handful of other original stars are also expected to return. Plans for a sequel were first reported in 2022 when Curtis confirmed to People that there was, quote, lots of good talk going on, as you saw, about a potential sequel. So when the film celebrated its 20-year anniversary in May of 2023, Curtis and Lohan reunited for an interview with the New York Times, where the latter said she would be open to a sequel. So Mark Hamill, Chad Michael Murray, and more will be in the sequel. And typically, I am not a huge fan of sequels, especially with movies that define my childhood, but I'm actually all on board for this one. All right, my final story is one that our friend Michael Babcock over at TMZ actually filled us in on a few weeks ago. Now, Simon Cowell, the mastermind behind bands like One Direction and Little Mix, is gearing up once again for music industry domination because he has signed a huge deal and paycheck with streaming giant Netflix for a new show in his bid to find the next One Direction. Will he succeed? It'll be interesting to watch everything unfold. So the music mogul, who's 64, recently said that he thought there had not been a band as successful as One Direction since their creation. and had set about on a quest to replicate their fame. The show will be called Simon Cowell Midas Touch. And here's what he had to say about forming the perfect band.
My advice is don't overthink it. Come in as yourself. Tell me and my team why you should be in the band. The fact that you've turned up really does make a difference. Doesn't matter if you can't dance, doesn't matter if you can't play an instrument. Even if you're in a band right now, you can turn up. If you've got a friend who you think should audition, you should put them forward. It's all about personality with me. You never know what you're looking for until you find it, and that's always the best way of putting a band together. We could end up with 2 people, 4 people, 5 people. You don't know until you go out and do what we're about to do. Having done this for a long, long time, it's the best part of my job. Really, really excited about doing this.
All right, you heard it from Simon Cowell himself. If something has been holding you back or you're holding yourself back, listen to what Simon says, literally. Don't overthink it. Give it a go. All right, I love this advice. All right, that is all I got for this week's What the Hollywood. We'll be back with lots more fun